You guys left us on quite a lot of things to ponder.
Yes. Lots of questions, lots of tears.
Can you tease a little bit of where we are when we start?
I can tease that the beginning of of where we are is a tease. It is a tease in and of itself. We're going to be playing a lot with the narrative this year. It won't necessarily be playing out linearly. We're gonna revisit some things about our past. We're gonna kind of show some hints about a future, and by future I mean like a couple years, not like The Matrix. And we're going to be playing things out in present day. So part of the beginning of the season is, in the first episode, is kind of figuring out which is which.
What can you say about Lily sticking around this season, and then also how that applies to Enzo and what's coming up for him this season?
Well, Enzo's entire thing has been he's just never really had a place. That's why he attached himself so deeply to Damon when they were imprisoned, and takes disloyalty so personally, because he himself is very loyal and is looking for that kind of return loyalty, and I think he sees that in Lily he could have that, and he could have a family, and he could have a core group of people that believe in him and that want him to be there, and I think he just wants to know if they will be as loyal to him as he would to them, and certainly with Lily especially, like she sired him, she made him, and is she going to thank you is she going to live up to the responsibilities of that relationship, or does he need to stay on the side of the heroes and forsake this family that he might have been a part of?
Matt has never been particularly fond of the supernatural element in Mystic Falls, but that seemed to reach new heights in season 6. Is that something that will come into play in season 7?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Matt Donovan, congratulations, finally graduates from deputy training school. He's a man in the uniform now, so his thing is going to be trying to live up to that legacy that Elena wished for him, but also really believing, like, if there's going to be one person in this town who can help protect what innocent folk remain, it's going to be me. And he takes that role very seriously, and will put his own life at risk many times trying to uphold the integrity of that legacy.
Now, are the heretics the big bad this season, or can you tease?
The heretics are our entry point to the big bad.
Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
You guys have got there's 2 Vampire Diaries shows, Vampire Diaries originals.
Yeah.
DC superheroes, they've now got 3 shows.
And
Could you ever imagine doing a 3rd show set in this universe?
Yeah, the answer is yes, and then the answer is God, no, never, ever. But it's funny because, I never would have thought that the Vampire Diaries would have a viable spin-off until I met the originals, and it had more to do even with the actors that we cast than it did with the characters at first. They were so good. We wrote more for them, and then they popped and suddenly took up so much space that they earned their own series. And so if something like that were to happen again, I mean, sure, when I look at the casting of the heretics and I say, oh, they're interesting, could they be their own show? In the back of my head, I'm like, that could be cool. And then the other back of my head, I'm like, are you out of your mind? You don't even think like that. So it's one of those, like, we'll see.
Continue to get off the ground first.
Exactly. I don't think I could actually do 4 shows. I'll be very honest about that. Yeah, absolutely. Bonnie always has, of course, been the savior, been the salvation of this motley group of idiots, and now it's born out of both the sense of obligation that she needs to she needs to feel like her life matters, and also because this friendship with Damon has gotten so strong that she would lay down and die to protect him, not just because she cares about him, but because Elena cares about him as well. So she's gonna fight tooth and nail to make sure, and he is actually gonna fight tooth and nail for her, and so there's a great bond there between them that I think is really exciting, and and watching Bonnie explore more and more about her magic and the roots of her magic and what she is capable of and how many different kinds of magic there are out there, and stuff that's nasty and a little dangerous. She's going to open a door into that world almost from a studious point of view, with Alaric trying to, figure out who knows what in our world about the different levels of things that a witch could do.
Poor Rick.
I know.
Can he have happiness at some point for longer?
That poor
than
guy.
2 minutes?
I know. No. Yeah.
No.
One day, yes. Well, this season is all about him trying to find his happiness, and he starts in a decidedly unhappy place. And if things go well for him, even unconventionally, there's a chance that he could find something to make him happy, and it's just going to have to, involve keeping a very open mind. Yeah, Lily and Damon and Stefan have this incredibly contentious relationship, and frankly, it's born out of the fact that they're pissed at her for not loving them enough, And she spent so much time loving them and missing them that when she finally let go of that, it's like she put up a cement wall that she can't see across anymore. And so I think she is self-aware enough to understand how shameful it is to not, as a mother, love her own sons, but she doesn't. And this season is a little bit about, the first half of the season, about them finding their way back to each other, for better or worse, whether they're going to break through that wall and re-bond, whether she'll bond with one and not the other, whether they'll have to take her down, their own mother, we'll see, but it's that's an interesting emotional triangle that we'll be playing with in the first chapter.
Bonnie and Damon hadn't had much interaction before season 6. Are there any character dynamics like that in season 7? Two characters that we haven't seen spend that much time together that get a lot more time together in season 7?
Yes. Yes.
Go on.
I'm just trying to think of who and how. Well, oddly enough, we'll see Matt and Donovan sort of fighting side by side with Stefan and Damon. Not necessarily at the same time, because Stefan and Damon are in direct opposition about how to handle Lily and the heretics, but Matt, as the person in the middle whose singular goal is to make sure the town stays safe, is finding himself teaming up with the very people that he sort of wishes he could get rid of, because they share that goal of making sure that the heretics don't destroy their town.
He's the new Sheriff Forbes.
The new Sheriff Forbes, exactly.